And good morning, everybody. It is Fabulous Friday featuring Paul Beirne. Now, Paul, I've only just met you recently at a networking event. It's our local one, Holly Springs Small Business Networking.
Right.
And last night there was we had a Christmas party, and you were a sponsor there. So thank you for being the sponsor, one of the sponsors. Now,
It's my
Paul,
pleasure.
tell us what you do, because it's BizSpire, and I have
That's
your
right.
card here. So go for it. Tell us, tell everybody what you do.
So BizBuyer is sort of the culmination of the last 2 decades of working with various businesses. First off in my career, but then when I went out and onto my own, and that's seeing all the challenges that businesses face, which could be anything from sales or marketing, or keeping kind of the balance to the equilibrium about all the different areas. There's a lot of moving parts in the business, and so I was mostly on the technical side or operations side. And now that technology sort of meets every part of a business and has an effect on every part of the business, I basically came up with a model to make business scaling more efficient and to bypass all of the challenges, or a lot of the challenges, that a business owner would face as they're trying to go from trying to get to $1 million a year in revenue and beyond that. So we deal with pretty much any stage of a business. So if you're a solopreneur, or if you've got an established business and you're trying to get to the next level, we provide the resources to help do that. So that's we'll bring on people, remote resources to help move things along. We'll help with lead generation. We can manage sales, and we can automate operations. And then we also provide those technology services to bring in the right systems, make sure people don't over invest in things they don't need until later, or won't need ever. A lot of people will buy some expensive software package and then be stuck in it, and with like a $10,000 license, or as you start to add people, it gets more and more expensive, and then it's not really providing the benefit. And that's really the gist of BizSpire.
Okay, so again, I'm really like a layperson with this. So I'm very good at what I do, and you're right, because entrepreneurs, we can't just be good at what we do. We have to tell everybody that we're good at what we do.
Right.
So we have to be managers, marketeers, and all that sort of thing. So you mentioned that you bring other people on. So are you talking about like a virtual assistant for people?
Yeah, more than that. Like we'll provide remote resources, but they're very experienced. So we can. They could be B2B salespeople. They could be digital marketers. They could be people just doing administrative stuff. So there's a wide variety of skill sets, and those skill sets can change as the business changes. When you hire somebody, you have their skill set for the length of their employment. But our resources, we can bring in 1 month for doing sort of appointment setting, or scheduling your teams or your crews, or and then the next month be more focused on like creating social content or whatever, depending on the needs. The idea is to fill in the gaps that the business isn't able to manage itself.
Yeah, because it is confusing. I mean, it's almost so confusing that I know a lot of people bury their heads in the sand and then just don't bother doing it, and literally go do more word of mouth and the old-fashioned advertising. I mean, I remember the yellow pages, and and it was word of mouth or leaflet dropping, and actually, I mean, I do still get a lot of my clients from that. Is most of mine are word of mouth, referral basis. So, what makes your business different to, say, somebody else's? Because there is, it's like, why would somebody want to be with BizSpire as opposed to somebody else? What makes you so different, Paul?
Well, number one is the experience we have in all the different areas of a business. It's about as a business owner, you're generally focused on one area. Whether it's getting new clients, or managing the service, or looking to hire people to help you scale and manage the service. But so we have experience across again, those 2 decades plus of experience of managing all these different areas of the business. So rather than going out and getting somebody to help, particularly with just marketing, or to help train your salespeople, we create the equilibrium, which is important, and understanding from point A to point B throughout the whole breadth of the business that we are able to manage, and then we look at all the data points to make sure that this is working or this is not working. And even if you are using other resources or other teams or groups to help you with, say, marketing or technology or something like that, we can help manage them to make sure that what they're providing connects to the rest of the thing. For example, if you're spending a lot on marketing and getting a ton of leads, but then you're not able to convert those leads into actual sales, then we can focus on the sales piece. If you are successful in both of those areas, but your service delivery is suffering because you don't have, you're getting more leads than you can provide the service for, then we can help offload the things, the mundane things like business administration stuff, so you can focus, all the people that you do have can focus just on the service delivery. And so because we're watching all the pieces and we're providing that visibility back to the business owner, it's very clear that you need to spend your attention here versus here versus here.
So how do you do that? It's like, is there a specific software that you use? Because I know I use Keep at the moment, and it's for my funnels. I find it very confusing.
Yeah.
And it often goes really wrong on me.
Well, that's one of the things is that, depending on the software you pick, I mean, there's lots of different CRMs you could use to manage your customers. But you want to make sure that you're getting the data out of that, and that's feeding into, say, your email marketing, and you're able to automate that email marketing. And then, from there, what happens to that information when you go and actually service the customer, and how you're keeping track of your customer service issues and things like that. So what we do is we take all those pieces and either, we have some recommendations in terms of CRMs and things that we use that we can help set up so that everything flows from one thing to the other. But then we can also pull that data out of those individual applications and then create sort of a single dashboard so that you can see everything all at once without having to be in all of them.
Right. So you collect the data, and then you can actually see what is working, what's not working, and where you are best, where the entrepreneur is best placed, and that you can do all the other bits that generally people don't like doing.
Yeah, like you were just saying, a lot of people that I've spoken to, they have this feeling when they think about scaling. There's this feeling of being overwhelmed, and also not having the time to be able to focus on all the different pieces. So you may spend an hour focusing on, say, collecting leads or trying to convert those leads into sales, but then the rest of the time, you're switching focus so often depending on how many people you have in your organization to help you that that creates that feeling of overwhelming. And another thing that I normally tell our clients is that traditional businesses usually focus on where they're at, and which is obviously important. I mean, but they plan and see their future based on what they have currently, like what resources they have. I have this person, I can't afford to do this, I can't afford to invest in this. But what we try to teach people and how we manage our clients is that we look to what the actual true goal is. What do you want to get to financially, or in terms of what service you're providing, or other things that you may not even be doing now that you want to be able to provide to your customers. And then we work backwards from that. So we'll help move the current things forward, but we're also simultaneously planning how to get to the rest in as straight a line as possible, rather than doing this wavy, I'm focusing on sales, I'm focusing on service, I'm back to focusing on sales as the pipeline, So we're trying to make sure that their trajectory is as quick and as straight as possible. And
you literally take that overwhelm from the person.
That's the goal. I mean, that's why, I know how frustrating that can be. Obviously, as a business owner, and removing that overwhelm and getting them to see what's truly possible in their business, because what they think is possible, a lot of people, another common thing I get is that they feel, oh, we can only do our goal, we can really only feel we can do another 20%, or I was actually just talking to a woman who owns a cleaning company, and whenever she has staff failure, she has to go out and do the cleaning, and that takes, because she doesn't have the people to fill in that thing, and her goal is to duplicate those teams. So, but while she's cleaning, she can't be focused on recruiting, and so we can fill in those steps, and that's the kind of thing. It's just like, I'm here, I don't know how to get there, and so we look at point A and determine what their point B is and actually focus on that. A lot of people are stuck working in their business, and we're able to come in and even if they're stuck working in their business, we can work on their business for them while they're getting through that challenge, or moving on to the next opportunity.
Just having your business working is like having two cogs turning at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Only that there's several, and really you can only focus on one at a time. So
yeah.
So we keep the rest of the plates spinning while you're focusing on the one. That's our goal.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. That's good. So and then do you help people with their websites, their SEO, Google? What do you do with that?
We generally don't do that. There's lots of other partners that we can recommend and people that we work with. We're focused on the stuff that's really like direct controls. So we do more outbound sales. We'll create inbound sales, help create inbound sales funnels. We'll work on the conversion mechanisms. We'll delivering the service. So really the 20% that's going to more directly affect either growing revenue or growing profitability. So, and that's,
What do you suggest the best way for people to generate leads is?
It depends on if they're B2B or B2C. B2C, there's a variety of different ways. Rather than relying on organic like SEO and stuff like that, the things that give you control, the most direct for B2C is to place ads. And if you're, or the secondary thing to that would be to build your audience, build a community, and to start creating sort of funnels for people to come in where you're building conversations, and then, or getting them involved in or attached to that community. And that's how you would do that. With B2B, it's you can do some of those things, but generally outbound, a lot of people say outbound sales is dead, but really it's not. It's one of the most one of the things that you have the greatest control over. So having an outbound sales program. Also, obviously you still want to create sort of some kind of inbound funnel, but doing email campaigns, again, building a community of those kind of like-minded people or industry specific people that you're looking to engage would be what we start with.
So tell me, what do you mean by outbound sales?
So that's direct contact, where you go out, you create, you build lists of prospects or people that you think might be interested or could use your product or service, and then you go out and you reach out to them, whether it's via email, through trying to connecting with them in LinkedIn and starting a conversation, meeting them at some networking meeting, or actually doing cold calling or cold emailing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't.
I wouldn't do cold calling.
Oh,
I don't need to, as I say. But what I personally do, it's very it's a lot of referral based, and people would want to get to know me first if they're going to deal with something so private, if you like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what if you could give somebody a good tip today with this, especially for the advertising bit? And would you say that Google is best to advertise on, or Facebook ads? Or do they change?
If you're in B2B, I would focus more on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're B2C, then any of the social networks, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you go where your audience is. So the idea is you're obvious as a product or service, you're trying to solve a problem for your customers, and so wherever they're talking about that problem, that's where you want to be.
Okay, yeah, go to where your target market is.
Exactly.
Okay. So have you got any other useful strategies for people if there's somebody's first starting out and they go, oh, what's the best thing for them to do? Is it to literally call you and go, help? What? How does the conversation start?
Well, we could do that. I mean, generally it starts, the way we start is with a conversation. I generally don't charge for consultation. It's more about, what can we do? What pieces can we put in place? And, helping with that implementation is where we want to become a partner. So we do an initial kind of an assessment or a conversation to figure out where they are. The goal, like I said, is to identify where that point B is and where they're really driving to. And then also to show them if they're, say, point B is only here, that we can show that actually you could be here. And say, your 3-year plan could be a 1-year plan. Your 5-year plan could actually be a 2-year plan if you remove the wiggle between what you're trying to do and the change of focus. And if you just say, just work on these things and this is your goal, we'll bring in the pieces to make sure that the line stays straight and move forward from there. So the main thing is to believe, you can get there and that what's right around you right now is not what your future needs to be. It's It can be so much more. Shoot for the moon, or shoot for the stars, hit the moon, sort of.
You'll take the sting out of it for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely will.
Okay, that's good. So we'll put your links in the comments so that if anybody wants to get in touch with you. So who do you like working with most of all? Who is your target market?
Well, we're pretty much industry agnostic. I love helping solopreneurs, people just getting started. I actually spend a lot of time mentoring people, just meeting with them one-on-one and talking through what their challenges are. So I'm happy to do that with anyone to get the conversation started. But I've worked pretty much in the majority of industries there are, everything from retail and e-commerce to construction, manufacturing, professional services, home services, legal. So everybody has the same challenges. It doesn't matter. Well, there's nuances in your business and how you deliver your service or your product, but the challenge is maintaining that equilibrium between getting leads and converting them and then providing the service is the same for everybody. So there's always something that and the path is very similar. It's just when do you hire? For example, a plumber or HVAC company might need to, they're determined, when do I get a new truck to bring out a new crew? Or, like the cleaning company is trying to get a new crew to do this. So you're either doing that, or if you're, say, a lawyer or a tax accountant, you have a service cap based on how many people you have in seats that are providing your service. And so how do we keep that moving forward while maintaining, the leads coming in, maintaining the pipeline, and being able to scale simultaneously.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts there. Mm-hmm. So basically, you can help people, as you say, so they can work in their business while you work on their business. Mm-hmm. And then every so often, I guess you two must come together again for another, collaboration to go over what's next.
Yeah, we're very interactive. It's very iterative. So it's not like we go 3 months or even 6 months. We'll have a conversation and we provide the visibility and transparency to the owner. So everything that we're doing, they can see on a daily basis. They'll know, this is what happened this day and this is what happened. While they're focused on the one thing, maybe they're focusing on doing sales or networking or something else. We'll be like, okay, here's what we delivered, and here's what either the team that we're managing or the people that we brought on or the service that we're monitoring. This is what happened this day and how it meets and is contributing towards those goals.
Brilliant. Yeah, love it. Okay. Well, there you go. Now I've got to know you an awful lot better, Paul.
Been my pleasure.
Thank you for watching, everybody. And as I say, the links to get in touch with Paul. We all need help in this area. I know I do. It's and as again I say, thank you for watching. And it's goodbye from me, Claudia Ricard, and it's goodbye from
Paul at Bizfire.
There you go. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful